Brand new Wendy's, but here's the difference. You cannot sit down inside to eat your food. You're going to order your food from this window, right? And then you're going to walk around the building, right? And you're going to sit down and eat right there. Now, if you're doing DoorDash, you walk through these doors and you're going to pick up your food right there or what have you. And they're going to have computer screens right there where you can order your food. This is how they're doing it now in some locations with Wendy's and probably other restaurants where, traditionally you would be able to go in and sit down and eat. But now they're switching it up. This is new to me. Let me know in your city, wherever you from, y'all got these style type of restaurants where you can't sit down and eat no more. There's essentially no lobby. Everything is pretty much on the outside. And this is a brand new Wendy's.
What I figured I would do is go through a smart city and explain exactly what it is. And then at the end of the explanation, I want to know, do you guys think it's a good idea to put smart cities in place, or do you think it's not a good idea? So let's start with the definition. A smart city is a municipality that uses information and communication technologies to increase operational efficiency, share information with public, and improve both the quality of government services and citizen welfare. And then here's how it works. Smart cities utilize their web of connected Internet of Things devices and other technologies to achieve their goals of improving the quality of life and achieving economic growth. Successful smart cities follow these 4 steps. Number 1 is going to be collection of data. Smart sensors throughout the city gather data in real time. This is including cameras. Analysis. Data collected by the smart city sensors is assessed in order to draw meaningful insights. Communication. The insights that have been found in the analysis phase are communicated with decision makers through strong communication networks. And then lastly, actions. Cities use the insights pulled from the data to create solutions, optimize operations and asset management, and improve the quality of life for residents. And then I found this picture which shows you what they intend on optimizing with these. What I figured I would do.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo-Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashim, which means in the name, Yahweh Shai, which means He is our salvation. And that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites, all right? Now, what brings us to our discussion / topic this morning is the remodeling of the well-renowned Wendy's fast food restaurant. Now they're really taking fast food to the extreme, okay? Because now you can no longer dine in at least this Wendy's. There's only a drive-through and a DoorDash. No more can you go in and order your meal and sit down inside a climate-controlled environment and talk and enjoy the fruits of your labor, after getting off of work or, enjoying your weekend. No, if you want, you can sit outside, but you can no longer come inside, okay? Now, some say it's because of the fatigue, people coming in there, particularly, so-called black people. You've seen the videos, Eve throwing food at the cashier, the cashier returning fire and all this type of mayhem. And it's not just at Wendy's. You probably seen it at McDonald's too. So guess what? More than likely McDonald's is going to roll out this infrastructure and may just simply start to fade out the fast food restaurant industry altogether. And, sway over to this new style, okay? Drive-through or DoorDash only, okay? You won't be able to come inside and eat and use their restrooms as they used to say, for paying customers only. See? So this is where we're at with it. That this system, this up and coming system, which is already in place, okay? The infrastructure is already in place. That's why everything is going digital. Okay, they're slowly fading out your quote unquote independence or your freedom. All of those are slowly fading away. And they're replacing it with what? Tyranny. Okay? They're going to tell you when you can use the service. They're going to tell you how much of a service you can have. All right? And if not, they're going to just what? Shut off. You can use the water services from such and such from 8 to 11 on this side of the street and from 12 to 3 on that side of the street. And after that, we're shutting off the water. So you better get your showers in, your flushings, you know, if you got to use the restroom and whatever else. All right? Because this is what's coming. Complete control. Okay? Now, you may ask yourself, or you may say to yourself, why are you making such a big deal over a fast food restaurant? Because why? It's the model. Okay? They can easily adapt that model to anything. Walmart. We already see what Walmart got the outside pickup. We see Domino's got curbside pickup. Okay? Because why? They want to control your movement throughout a controlled environment, a smart city where you don't have much say-so in the matter, all right? You don't have the autonomous to move around how you think you do now. You can't drive a car in a smart city, but you can hitch a ride with Lyft, Uber, or whatever else taxi service. And more than likely, they're going to go what? EV, electrical vehicles. All right? They're going to do away with the emission of gas. All right? That's why they're trying to slowly phase out the old style cars. All right? As of today, May the 1st, they're now introducing E15 ethanol into what? Your gas. And what cars can't handle that? Older model cars. Specifically, they say anything made before 2003. So they're trying to phase out those older style cars because why? They pose a threat to their system. So they have to tear up or put that E15 inside the system of the gas to slowly deteriorate to where you have to either get a newer car or just all out get a taxi or whatever. Okay? So the infrastructure is being put into place and it's already here. Okay? Smart city. So this model of this Wendys, although you may think to yourself, why does it matter? It's because it's setting the precedent for something way much bigger. All right? That's your ability to be controlled by this beast system. Where in order for you to buy and sell, you will have to take their charagma, their RFID microchip. See? And if they can gradually prep you for that, then they can pretty much have as less resistance as possible. Because if you don't want to eat Wendy's because you can't go in and see the menu, because, you know, pretty much that's for the baby boomers. They like to go inside the restaurant, look at the menu, pull out their bill folder, take out money, hand it to the cash register. They like that nostalgic feel of the 1960s, all right? You got to remember, that's what Dave, the founder of Wendy's, ran his model on. 100% beef. Now look, it's pretty much the model for not just Wendy's, but other fast food restaurants. Okay? And slowly but surely, all smart cities, banking is going to be obsolete. You're not going to need to go into a bank anymore. Because why? You're going to have your own money on your what? Digital ID / cryptocurrency into what? They transition over into the what? RFID microchip. See? So this move that Wendy did in this restaurant where only drive-through and DoorDash is accepted is a pretty major big move. A splash, okay? Because they can easily, remodel these restaurants if they want to stay afloat. These fast food restaurants. All right, it's nothing to them to throw in throwing an extra $200,000, $100,000. All right. So I typed in Google, is Wendy's remodeling for DoorDash only? See? Meaning what? That you can't go inside the store if you're not picking up food to go DoorDash. Because why? Okay. There was this thing called Environment 25 that I was looking up, that this scientist experience with these rats, where they gave the rats everything that they could need or that they could wish for, meaning food, shelter, and other rats, and to the point where they got lazy and they relied and depended on everything that the scientists had to offer them, and they no longer had the will to do on their own. They was just pretty much stationary. And that's exactly what this damn devil wants you to be, stationary in a little box, restricting your movement to a bare minimum, all right? Especially if you're at the bottom, because in this up-and-coming system, there's no talk of middle class. It's either you're poor or rich. See, only the rich, the upper class, will have the autonomy to move about. The poor, you're going to be reduced to staying in a cubicle box-like house. Those are what those small houses are for, that Elon Musk was talking about years ago. See, you ain't gonna have no need to have a job, because AI is going to take over. See, they're going to give you a universal basic income where you can get your basic necessities, and eventually the workers at Wendy's are going to be replaced with what? AI. And then eventually Wendy's is not going to be Wendy's anymore. See, they're going to transition to a new name, because why? They're going to use these buildings to do other things other than the what? Cook your food and give it to you at a reasonable price, but not just that, but at the convenience of you sitting outside. See, if they was to actually tell you what the meaning or what the name of this new restaurant or whatever it is called, other than Wendy's, you would already be in opposition to that. So more than likely, they bought out Wendy's, and they're just rolling out, this trial error until it actually comes to pass. Then you're going to see, oh, Wendy's? I thought that was Wendy's. No. It's a place that's creating lab meat. It's a place that's doing this, okay? Or doing that, all right? But we just had to use Wendy's, because we bought Wendy's out for the model, to put it into trial to see how people would, react to it. Now we got you. So it says, is Wendy's remodeling for DoorDash? I question Google. It says Jen. It says Wendy is remodeling to a global next gen. All right. And then the second video it went into just what a smart city was. Pretty much next gen. Digital tracking throughout your whole stint in the city. You will be tracked. Everything you do, your data will be tracked. And then with a smart city, it's forever upgrading. Okay? This is what the cloud is for. This is what these data centers are for. They're to continually upgrade, never staying still. That's the hint, smartness of it. It's able to adapt. So it says Wendy is remodeling to a global next-gen format that prioritizes digital orders. This is all it does. It's a data center, basically. See? Told you it was more than just selling you hamburgers and French fries and milkshakes. It's a damn data center, man. This is all it is. They're hiding behind the name of Wendy's, McDonald's, Walmart. Wherever else you go and you spend your money and you use digital transactions, they're hiding behind those names. But they're just data collecting centers. Collecting your data, your spending habits, what you like to eat. See? So they know, okay, we gotta make a synthetic meat that tastes similar to a porthouse steak. It's all it is collecting your data. You. Okay, they're using you to get more information to further build these smart cities more advanced. Okay. So it says Wendy is remodeling to a global next gen format that prioritizes digital orders, mobile pickup, and DoorDash rather than for DoorDash exclusively. While some new designs eliminate indoor dining, focusing on drive-through and delivery, it's all data. See? When you probably drive into Wendy's parking lot, they're probably going to have sensors that can weight your distribution throughout your car to see whether or not you got air in all your tires. Oh yeah, your left tire is a little bit low. They send a message to your car, and you thinking to yourself, damn, I got a message to my car that I got 32 PSI in my front two tires, but in my back tire it's 26. Mr. Johnson, you need to add 6 more pounds of pressure of air in your back right tire. See? So it's a data center, man. Okay, that's what these smart centers are going to be. All right? It's supposed to make you feel like you're in an upgrade. All right? But really, they're taking your freedom. They're stripping it from you. Your independence. Okay? They want you zombies. Depending on them to control your every movement. All right? No longer thinking for yourself. Okay? So it says, while some new designs eliminate indoor dining, focusing on drive-through and delivery, these renovations, it ain't nothing for them to renovate a Wendy's, a McDonald's, a Burger King, or whatever, okay? It turned it into what? A data center where it collects data, information from its subjects, right? Just like that Environment 25 with those rats, okay? It says these renovations aim to streamline operations for all digital, once again, there's that word, digital customers, and improve speed, lightning speed. It ain't about the restaurant experience anymore, okay? It's about collecting data. This is where it lies, in collecting data, your data. Okay? Just like on your cell phones. You think you know using their services? No, they're using your services to collect your data, your information, to process into their computers, into their systems, to what? Upgrade to another more proficient version of that. A smarter version than that. See? Because why? They're going to make you a smarter version of who you are when you take that charagma, that mark, Revelation 13 and 16 speaks of. And he should cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or his number. They're going to make you a smarter version of yourself. Okay? And if you take that chip, you're through. At your expense. You became smarter, but you became deader. Okay? Let's grab a couple of precepts. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, and verse 11. It reads, lest Satan, and who is Satan? The adversary. All right, now you have the spiritual demon Satan, and then you have his physical counterpart, Esau Edom, because he's in oppose of the Most High, Yahweh, through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai's agenda. Okay? Satan is being used, Esau Edom, to bring in this new world order, this beast system, by the way of the mark of the beast. Okay? So it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us. See? Who is the us? The Israelites. Okay? Because that's who he's after. Now, in particular, he wants the elect. But the Lord has put a hedge around the elect. And Lord willing, we be found worthy to be in that hedge and have that strong, and be in that strong tower and have that hedge for when Satan does come. Which he's coming with that what? Great wrath. Revelation 12 and 12. See? So this is why we're seeking the Lord while he may be found, for when this devil comes with that great wrath, that the Lord may have mercy on us. All right? And direct our paths. Okay? So it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us. How does he get the advantage of you? Because you didn't seek the Lord. You were given over to a reprobate mind. Now you believe the wiles of the devil. You haven't put on the whole armor. Ephesians 6 and 13. See? You got on some, but you don't got on all. You got to have on all the armor of the Most High, man. Or else Satan will seek. And as it says, he comes to destroy and kill, man. All right? So it says, lest Satan, the adversary, should get an advantage of us, for we, those of us that are fighting to endure to the end, are not ignorant of his devices, right? Because why? We have this truth. Now, if we fall out, we fell victim to it. Okay? So this is why we got to continue to go hard, man. Because why? They're rolling out with this plan, this agenda, whether you believe it or not. All right? And they don't have 15, 20 years, 30 years, Lord willing, they don't have 2 years. All right? So it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, his smart cities, his 15-minute cities, giving you all the convenience that one could desire and ask for. But you think you're smart, but you're lazy. Okay? This damn devil got you thinking you smart because you walk around with a phone and you got all the information in the palm of your hand. But all the while, you're just becoming more and more docile. Okay? You don't have any fight. You don't have any will to do anything on your own anymore. Because you feel you're part of technology. Ayo, I'm tired of using technology. You know the song, 50 Cent and Justin Timberlake? See, you think you done upgraded because now you got technology. That's why the Lord say, seek ye the old ways. The old ways. The old ways. Seek them. Right? This is Jeremiah 6 and verse 16. It says, thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. See? They don't want this old path, this truth. Good old reliable truth, the word. They want the new way, the new technology. And then they're going to eventually want that RFID microchip. The hell with what y'all saying, man? Y'all been saying that for 50 years now, 60 years. We seeing the advancement of technology, but we ain't seeing what you saying come to true. We ain't seeing no spaceships. We ain't seeing no black Jesus coming to save us. But we see this technology making us smarter. See? They didn't stand in the way and look for the old path, man. Whereas in what? Let's read it again. Jeremiah 6 and 16. Thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways. And do what? And see. And ask for the old paths. See? We asking for the old paths. We asking for the words of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shah to be fulfilled. And he's fulfilling them. But if you don't want the old paths, then you just an old fool. It says, where is the good way? And walk therein. See? This is a straight and narrow path, man. You got to walk on it. All right? It ain't popular according to this world. It ain't sexy according to this world. According to this world, what we're doing is looked at as anything but smart. See? Because it says if you are a friend of who? The devil, then you are an enemy of the Most High. You can't serve two masters, man. Let's get that. Is that Jeremiah? No, not Jeremiah. Is that James? This is James 4 and 4. It reads, you adulterers and adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? See? If you're a friend of this world, you're an enemy of the Most High, man. It's just that simple. See? Now, we'll use this world, we'll use this system, but we will not abuse it, all right? As it says, what's that, 1 Corinthians 7? Just touching up on the precepts. Is it 32? This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 31. It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it. See? So we're not friends of this world. We're just using it. Because why? We got to get our daily bread. But see, there's going to come a time where this world, this system, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is going to ask something from you to use his system. And that's going to be what? For you to take that RFID microchip. See, and that's why we're seeking the old paths, where it's in the good way. Okay? Because if you take that, you're an enemy of the Most High. So it says, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. See, it's just temporarily. But the kingdom of heaven to come that's going to be on the earth is eternity. So we're not willing to risk our eternal righteousness for this temporary wickedness, this temporary wicked. All right, Lord willing. So now let's go back to James 4. And what was that, verse 4? It says, ye adulterers and adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? See, this is why we just use the world. All right, we don't abuse it because we know what comes along with it, man. When you get your hopes up high, you put your faith in this world, you're gonna be let down when you see the outcome. So we get our daily bread as it tells us to. But even that's going to come to an end when they implement the mandatory implementation of the RFID microchip. It says, whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. See? And how are you going to be a friend of the world? When you take that RFID microchip, then that's your complete and utterly alliance with this world, this system. It says, and you will be an enemy of the Most High. See? Which is why you're going to be through. Okay? Especially if you're here in Babylon the Great, America, you're going to be finished, man. That's it. That's your death certificate. Okay? If you here in Babylon the Great, when the missiles come, and you're not of the elect of the nation of Yasharallah, Israel, the true biblical Israelites, you're through, man. You're cooked. All right? Because it don't mean just because you're an Israelite, you're going to be delivered. No, you have to be the elect. Okay? So it's boiling down, man, and we getting closer and closer, okay, to them rolling this out. All right? And we can't wait, man. All right? We understand they're going to strip away what we perceive to be our freedom, our rights. All right? That's what it's all about. Okay? Them taking your rights and replacing it with you not having any. Okay? Giving you what? False hope. All right? False positive. Okay? See, you think these smartphones and these smart devices is all for your better half so you can make money? And no, man, they're collecting data, man. You so-called content creators and all that, man, this is plain to the trained eye what they seeing, what they doing, man. But to the untrained, man, that's living for the moment, living it up, living that fast life. Hey, should have seeked the old paths, whereas in the good way. See, but it ain't sexy, it ain't appealing, But hey, it's gonna be sexy and appealing in that day. All right, when you forced to take that chip, but you ain't gonna be forced. You're gonna be given the ultimatum: take the chip or defend for yourself, or they might just behead you. Who knows, man? All right, see, but we don't have anything to worry about when we're in the truth, because why? We count everything as a loss for our Lord and Savior. All right? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. We count everything for a loss, man. We forsaken this world. We use it, but we don't abuse it. See? We get our daily bread and we go on about our business, man. We're not heavily invested in this place. Whereas if they was to roll this thing out the next week, it's going to be like, oh, man, what do I do about my job? What do I do about No, man, we understand this was supposed to happen, okay? And the Lord gonna take care of us, all right? Strive for the truth until the end, and I will fight for thee, all right? He told us that, so we believe it with our whole heart, our mind, okay? So let's go ahead and close out 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8, and it reads, be sober, be vigilant, see? That's part of being sober and being vigilant. You have to understand that the Lord is going to make good on his promise, man. He's not a man that he should lie. Okay? If he said it, he's going to do it. All right? And that's comforting. That's comforting to us in this walk, in this truth. This is what continues to drive us. Ultimately, it's the Spirit of the Father, but it's a leading factor that, this drives us, if we are the elect, to continue to push, because the Lord gave his word, man. And his word is good as bond. He's not a man that he should lie. See? And Daddy might have told you he was coming to pick you up for football practice at 3 and then never show up. But the Lord he ain't gonna leave you high and dry. All right? Your girl might have told you that the child was yours, but come to find out 10 years later, it ain't. The Lord ain't gonna leave you high and dry. See? If he tell you something, book it. It's good as done. See? I wanted to say good as gold, but his word is better than gold. It's good as done. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, there it is, that deceiver, that false accuser, man, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Come on and get your DoorDash. Come on into the smart. Because whether you know it or not, your town, your city may already, if not be, transitioning to a smart city. If everywhere you go is digital. You may already have the infrastructure of the smart city. It's just the shield or the outer layer doesn't look like it's a smart city. All right? But if you got cameras in your town, your city that's tracking your tag plate and all of this, all that, that's a smart city. Okay? That's a smart city. All right? If your town or city is set up where you can pay your bills online, that's a smart city. These are all forms of data collecting centers. All right? So be mindful of that. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right? So we're going to pretty much end on that note. With that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson and into the next time. If it be the Lord's will, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, stay strong, stay in the faith. We are almost home. Shalom. Peace.